Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment in court.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
The government, states, they start putting these RICO acts on Diddy, all of these guys, and try to put it on these ongoing criminal organizations. I ain't never seen the government put a RICO act on the KKK.
If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow.
I think when it comes to the woman, if a man takes charge and he shows that he's logical,
same people. That's number two. That's all theater. This is WWF.
I'm mostly on the left ideologically, but I don't associate with the Democrats because they're not ideologically on the left. The Democrats are clowns and they're also losers.
They don't have no plan. They don't ever talk about nothing positive about the Democrat Party. Everything is just anti-Trump. They're not willing to have a conversation. They call us fascists. We willing to have a conversation. Charlie Kirk's willing to have a conversation.
Rob Smith had this to say about me.
So that Andre Williams dude who makes his whole TikTok platform about basically talking crap about black people just got packed up at that rally. And it's really a cautionary tale in terms of sort of like what these new MAGA sort of like right-leaning influencers are doing. There's nobody around this dude. Nobody had his back. So he's running around here thinking that somebody was going to be helping him out and supporting him because he's got some followers on social media. You have to find something other to talk about than black people.
First off, Rob, you like to take it up the ass, so I can't take you seriously as a conservative. Getting packed up. Is that what you and your boyfriend like to do? To tickle me in my ass play at night? And who the fuck are you calling new? I didn't join in the last election. I was supporting Trump long before it was MAGA, when it was early young nationalists supporting Donald Trump back in 2015. Back in the day when Nick Fuentes was just getting his start on YouTube. Not this gay pro-Israel boomer shit we're dealing with today. I don't expect anyone to have my back. I've been to multiple protests in multiple cities. And I was doing that long before I had any following whatsoever.
You make all your content talking about black people.
Yeah, because that's important. You black conservatives don't do that at all. Now here's the difference between me and this faggot Rob Smith. I'm willing to get my hands dirty. I'm willing to stand up for what I believe in, not just on the screen, but out in the streets as well. I'm willing to take a punch and sit in a cell. You're irrelevant, Rob. Suburban blacks like you would rather talk shit about niggas and liberals online than to do any kind of work on the ground. Go do a street debate like Myron Gaines. Be a little bit more controversial like Nick Fuentes. You don't get the views or the attention because you're boring and bland, and no one wants to listen to that shit. But people like me are authentic.
The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Skeptic.
Kim Billions, what's happening?
I'm Enzo.
I'm Andre.
And tonight, it's Skeptic's first night back. She's probably like, what am I walking into? Welcome back, Skeptic. I hope you're feeling better. And we have a special guest, Andre Williams, in the building. Now, Monday night, we talked about Andre, so you guys should know who he is. Andre, thank you for coming and thank you for streaming to your channel. Now, can you tell everyone what happened at the protest, the No Kings protest?
It was a lovely day. I was walking down the street and, some lightning struck me. Well, no, I went to the No Kings Day protest here in Detroit, Michigan. This was organized. I'm thinking about, I think it's the DSA or one of these left-leaning groups that they did it in July. I went to it and they did it in Clark Park here in Detroit. Challenged them before. So a lot of the people I saw there, they recognized me. They knew who I was. They were familiar with me. But I went this time by myself, like I've done multiple times in multiple different cities over the last year. And I don't just go to one event and I just walk away. Usually I spend like 4 days out there doing it, depending on how it is. I did that with the RNC, did that with the DNC, was going to do that for the Daniel Penny trial, did that with the inauguration, and of course did that in July with the first No Kings Day protest, and then again. So upon my arrival, as I'm coming up Michigan Avenue, I was met with a young white liberal girl who immediately wanted to grab my megaphone as I'm sitting here shouting at these people, counter protesting, which is my right to do, as it is their right to protest. It got very hostile. A lot of Antifa members there. There's lots of videos of Antifa being there at these No Kings Day protests on the street. And I'm doing exactly what I normally do, challenge these people, stand out there and to speak my ground as they are doing theirs. The main purpose when I do this is to take the attention off of them and get like a shared focus. I'm going to get attention. The camera's going to focus on me too. I'm not going to have you just, the No Kings Day protest. No, I want there to be known that there was someone there to challenge you, whether it be one person or a group of us. Regardless, you need to have some kind of pushback. I think that's something fair, especially in a predominantly Democratic city or left-leaning city like Detroit. So, yeah, a lot of people on the street trying to hit me with their bikes, run into me, push me. I know I'm going by myself, so I can't really do too much because I have, I'm one person against 1,000 people, literally. These people are doing everything they can to try to stop me from speaking. They're doing everything they can to, push me back. The cadre there, the guys in the yellow vests, they were constantly talking shit to me. I'm talking shit back. It's mutual. And they were allowing people to come out of a line, come out of the formation, and to do whatever, say whatever. Okay, this is how we're going to play it. Fine. I'm going to continue to hype up and say my shit back. There was a girl who said I punched her. It was going around on Instagram or on TikTok. I was looking at some of the comments. She's saying I punched her in the face. And this girl, there's a video out there of me and her talking and having a conversation twice. But yet I punched her. If I punched anybody, they would have picked me up long before that because Detroit police were littered all up and down Michigan Avenue. Upon us getting to the Rosa Parks Center, I met with an Indian dude who comes up from 7-Eleven. I don't know where he came from, but he's in an orange vest. And I don't know, maybe I took some Takis from the shelf and he decided he was going to, call me a coon and call me a house hard R and everything. So I'm shouting back stuff. I'm like, listen, don't sit here and try to push me, man. He's trying to push me back. I'm like, I have every right to go around. I can go anywhere I want. As long as I'm not going in front of your banners or trying to take down your banners, I have every right to sit here and counter protest. So another black guy comes up. He's telling me, I'm a veteran and you're a coon. And I hate coons like you and whatever. I'm like, are you serious? I'm just saying my shit and going back and forth with them. Everything is self-defense. Everything is mutual. So I said, fuck this. I'm not about to sit here and stand in front like a little boy and push me out. I'm going to go behind and stand on the benches like they were standing on the benches, shouting and having their flags and doing all this shit. And this is seen in the video. I go behind. I try to get on one of the benches. And there's this little white girl sitting there. She's trying to block me. So I said, I'm not the fucking pusher. Like I said, I'm one person against 1,000 people. Everything they're going to say is going to be pinned against me. I'm not going to take that risk. I get down. The cadre start pushing me and trying to grab me. So the Indian guy who's sitting there calling me a coon and everything pushes me. I push him back. They grab me and start pushing me towards the curb. So I'm like, stop fucking pushing me. I can walk myself there. Continuously pushing me. The guy in the orange vest, he's pushing back even more. I turn around. He grabs me and throws me to the ground. Police come pick me up. They took my weapon. I spent, 18 hours in the Detroit Detention Center on Mound with people in there who were for domestic violence. It was some nice guys I met. Some pretty nice guys, and there was a nice time. I had some jail sandwiches, some drinks. It was some crackers. It was really nice sitting in there with the guys who were in there for slapping their girlfriends and everything. I got out because one of the guards recognized me from my content and recognized me from the protest. He had read about me in the paper and followed my content, which was very funny. So shout out to that guard at the Detroit Detention Center. And on a Sunday afternoon around 1:00, an hour later, I was out and back home. So that's pretty much what happened. I was there to counter protest, which was my right. I was getting up on the bench, stand up and to preach my message. I didn't go directly into the crowd because I know that's going to be very hostile. I'm staying on the edge of it, like I've always done for every protest I've done. And I was attacked by those organizers of the event. And the police decided they were going to get me. So I think it was a false arrest. I think that it is against me entirely because this is a very left-leaning city. This was a left-leaning event. I was only one person. And this is not my first time of doing so. I guess I've done this multiple times. I've took people with me. I try to teach people how to do these things as much as I can. Like, hey, this is how you do it. It's how you should counter protest. Don't go there and being violent because what they expect for right-wing people to be violent. And they're going to do everything they can to try to smear you and say you were doing this and doing that. Don't feed into it. So I did my right. I did my duty, and I'll do it again. And we're going to double down by doing some street debates, hopefully in the next month or so. I'm going to have to cancel my HBCU tour I was going to do. Going to HBCUs and debating Black people. Really want to focus on Black people. So I'm going to have to cancel that and focus on doing more here in the city of Detroit because I feel it's necessary now even more.
Why are you canceling the tour?
Well, one, I think it's important for me to sit here in the city and focus on doing it here in my own hometown. Let me do it over here and continue to ruffle the feathers of people who are so hostile to me in my own town rather than going somewhere else. I feel like it's cowardly to go to somewhere else and do it where I can do it here. So I'll work on that, get some cameras, I'll probably get maybe 1 or 2 guys to hold the camera and do some spotting, but I can't wait to do that. That's something I'm really going to get into and really double down on. The college campuses, I feel everyone's doing it's oversaturated. I've been looking at a lot of the videos, very oversaturated, but doing street debates on the ground with normal everyday people, not some college kids that are there on daddy's money who are disconnected from the real issues. That's a lot better, a lot more engaging.
Well, we have 2 super chats. One is from Slim, who's a member of our cast. You probably remember him. He said, "You did the right thing, Dre. Keep your foot on these mofos' necks." Daddy in a Caddy said, "We need Kamala Harris 2028. Ban guns and capitalism." And so that goes to my next question, Andre. This is the number one thing people have been saying, and this is no shade. I'm just telling you what the people are saying, Andre. They said that you got all this smoke for Black people, but it's funny, so white liberals dusted you up. What do you say to that? Because that has been the number one thing I have seen on. I'm just saying what the people saying, Andre. You know I'm your friend.
Yeah, they're always going to say that because Black people love to bring up white people in the conversation just because why not? White liberals have always hated Black people that speak their mind, no matter if they're Democrat, Republican. If you're intelligent and you're Black, the white liberal fears that because they can't blame somebody and say they can't use themselves and say, "Oh, look at actually no Black person. I'm the center of attention. I'm the reason for why you don't have anything." No, because that's what they feed off of. They want attention and they want to feel like, everything is me. And they need minorities to cling around them and like, yeah, you know what? I'm the problem. Yes, please tell me, because they feed off that shit. So, yeah, I'm going to continuously talk about Black people. I live in a Black area. I live in the predominantly Black city. Most of the people that surround me are Black. I grew up Black. Why would I talk about white people all the time when I look down the street and I can look up right now and see people on my corner who are doing shit that harm me directly? Now, white liberals, oh, most definitely, they can get the smoke too. I always talk about white liberals in my content, but at the end of the day, we're always going to talk about Black people 90% of the time.
But that's the other thing people are saying, like, why don't you do content on blacks? And my answer to people that I've heard say this is you're not looking at all his content. Do you think that that's a fair assumption that you're doing only content on blacks, or are they just not looking at everything?
Well, I mean, did they have this critique of Kevin Samuels, when he talked about black women and black men and black issues? They didn't really have a problem with that. I mean, they had their problems with him. They don't really talk when Tariq Nasheed talks about white people all damn day and cries about white supremacy and all this, victim mentality bullshit. I want to talk about how black people we're not doing well. We need to do better. And the people who usually say this, and I'm talking about a lot of the people I see in my comment section who don't do content at all, who are just, observers and they just sit back and like to talk shit. They never had a page. They never had a channel. They never had a following. And I had someone come up on last night, you need to do better with your content. I'm like, well, motherfucker, okay, where's your platform? I can see if we had an equal footing or you had something greater than me. I'll listen to that. I'll take your advice. But these people who usually bring up this shit, I don't really have anything to say. I really don't care what they have to say about it. We're going to talk about what matters and what's important. And I'm going to speak on what I know.
Well, I mean, Andre, what's interesting to me is why are no black conservatives having your back with this? Like, they're all coming for you. And we're going to play some clips tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with Rob Smith. What do you think his beef is with you? I mean, it seems like he's a little jealous. Go ahead.
I can tell you, he talks about getting packed up. That's what he wants from his boyfriend. He's like, I wish I get packed up like that. Oh, girl. That's what he would love. So Rob Smith, it's funny because he took down his video of me. Rob Smith hasn't been relevant in a very long time. We'll be honest. You go to his page on TikTok, he doesn't really get good numbers. I think the video he posted about me sitting at 10K views, it's like a few hundred likes. That's terrible. He posted his video on Instagram. I think it was sitting at like 3,000 views for like 4 hours. So, yikes, not good. And the people in the comment section were supporting me. So, Rob Smith, who is very pro-Israel, by the way, and I'm not pro-Israel, who's very pro-Israel, who probably takes the Hezbollah check from Bibi Netanyahu himself, who probably likes to pack him up. Of course, he's going to attack me. Just like John Paul USA, who does, these long ass videos where he sits there for 45 seconds staring at the camera like an idiot, and calls people EBT members and all this stupid shit. And where he sits there with, this dumbass look on his face, is also pro-Israel, has terrible numbers, posts 5 times a day, can't get people to watch, because who wants to watch 45 seconds of some guy looking at the camera? Like, no one wants to do that. It's boring. Both of them have boring content. And they're the problem with black conservatives that are just going to sit on the screen and talk and not go out there and do something on the ground. That's the problem that we have. And this is the problem with the right in the broad sense, but especially with a lot of these black conservatives. They'll sit on the screen and talk about how they don't like niggas and white liberals or black liberals. But when it comes down to come out and challenge or do the street debates, like Myron Gaines, who's black, in my opinion, or Arab, wherever you want to call him, he goes out, does the street debates, goes out and engages with people, has the same content as me, and to a degree, right? We have similar content. He talks about the Jews a little bit more. I'll get into that more and more as I get on Rumble and YouTube and get a live stream going. He talks about black people as well. But people like Rob Smith and John Paul and even Ricky Manor, who he hasn't been relevant in years. He did a video on me. They got like 900 views or whatever. And he's sitting in a shirt and it's fucking protruding nipples with, juice coming out, sweat all over the place. Looks disgusting. He's got a camera from 2008, probably still editing in Sony Vegas and shit. And he has the audacity to talk about me.
Hey, not everybody's good at editing. All right. I am terrible with technology. Okay.
You use CapCut, at least use probably CapCut or maybe something in TikTok or Instagram. You're fine. But he's still using like shit from, I don't know. He's probably using some shit on Windows 98. I don't know what he's using, but he's still making these boring ass videos and has the audacity to talk about me. When Ricky Manor can, get off his ass and get out his gaming chair and run around, then we can have a conversation. But all these people, the common thing they have is they're pro-Israel. I'm not. There's a lot of money going into attacking anti-Israel content creators. Like I said, Bibi and the ADO will pay a lot of good money to attack people who are anti-Israel. So I think that's where it's coming from.
So you think there's collusion?
Well, of course, they're not getting orders from Bibi himself. Like, listen, Rob Smith, I know you love the gay bar. I'll give you a ticket to the, whatever fiesta is going on in Miami if you attack Andre. Obviously, they're not getting orders from Mossad, but these people have They have a narrative. They have an allegiance towards shit that is not within our interest collectively as Americans, and is also not very popular among a lot of Americans. And they're going to stick to it because they're being paid to do so. They make money. Rob Smith, John Paul, not Ricky Manor. He doesn't make any money, which is terrible. They make money off of it. They make money making pro-Israel content. They make money doing the cookie cutter conservative garbage that you would find. They're like the black version of Sean Hannity. It's very boring. It's not authentic. It's not controversial. It doesn't move the needle. It doesn't get people's emotions riled up. And that's why you look at their numbers and you look at their metrics. It's boring shit. I think I'll surpass Rob Smith and within maybe probably by the end of the year. I'm sitting at 250K on Instagram. He's at 275. I'll surpass his gay ass very fast.
Ken, what was your question, dear?
So he's Andre, you're a black conservative, right?
No, I'm not a black conservative, no.
No? Oh, okay. Well, my question was, what is the difference between white conservatism and black conservatism, and how do the results vary? Like, what are the outcomes of each?
Well, to be honest and completely real, and I've had this opinion for a very long time, conservatism is weak and conservatism is losing. When you look at the structure of our society today, and you're looking at the way things are going culturally and the way things are going economically, to be a conservative is very boring and bland. And now it is the counterculture because of Trump, but it's more nationalism and populism that is leading the way. The reason why Trump won is on nationalism and populism. The reason why you're seeing Mondami gain so much significance within New York is because of economic nationalism and populism, economic populism. The reason why you saw Bernie have some support to a degree early on is because of left-wing economic nationalism, populism. Same thing with AOC. So these are the true needle movers. But these people who give like the Fox News and CNN talking points on either side, no, I don't align with these people. These people are not for the interests or the betterment of our people as a whole in America. So I don't align with them whatsoever.
I have the clip of John Paul and what he had to say about you, Andre, and then we can get some other people in here.
Is it the
talking
one
as
with
well,
his
but
man purse on, or is it the one he's sitting on his couch with?
the one where he's sitting with the white shirt?
Okay, that one. Yeah, let's look at this goofy one right here.
Yeah.
Now y'all gonna hate me for this, but bro, where you learn to squabble?
Losses to the neck, but now I'm trophied up. I'm saying like bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam.
Now y'all not gonna like me for this, and I really don't give a fuck. I don't really like dude. I'm gonna just be honest. Like, he makes generalized statements about black men and women and all this. I make statements about certain groups of people. We don't have the same mission statement. Y'all think he's conservative? I don't. I'm just saying, bro, where'd you learn to squabble though? Like, they was tossing you around like they tossed their EBT checks. Ping.
The type of shit I'm on, you wouldn't understand. The type of skits I'm on, you wouldn't understand. Big dog.
Bro, you in church shoes sliding. Church shoes is not for squabbling. Worst time of your life, the worst fights I ever had in life was in church shoes. But you got beat up by some liberals while you was wearing church shoes? Come on, man.
I would not hold your hand. Broke bitch business, I cannot be your man. Never got his ass whooped until he opened up that can. Damn.
So I don't know why y'all keep sending me this dude's videos, right? I don't particularly like when you direct hate towards your people. I direct hate at a certain group of my people. We ain't the same. But bro, you got Molly Watt by some liberals.
Skeptic, I'm gonna let you go first. I know you're probably like the most left on the panel tonight. What do you think about all the conservatives going at Andre? Like, although Andre's not a conservative, he protested at a left-wing rally. Wouldn't you think that they'd have his back? Do you think the liberals would have another liberal's back? What do you think?
So Andre, let me ask you this. So if you're not a conservative, what are you? Like politically?
You could say I'm far right. You could say I'm a nationalist. You could say I'm in line with people like Nick Fuentes, people like Myron Gaines, people like who else can I really add? Trying to think of somebody I can really add that's also in the mix. The Tate brothers, they like me. They gave me a shout out. God bless Tristan Tate for giving me the shout out. So people like that.
You're more politically aligned with Nick Fuentes. Got it.
If you want to put that, yeah, go ahead.
So some of the things that I thought were interesting. Also, the role was crazy. is the fact that you were saying that your number one reason to go there, or like I guess your purpose, was to get attention. It seems like you got attention. Like I feel like your goal was accomplished, right? Because you said you went to counter protest and you wanted attention. You also said that you weren't among the crowd, but from the video that we just saw,
I didn't say I wasn't among the crowd.
thought you said you were outside of the crowd, but it looks
Yeah,
like
I
you were
didn't go in the
inside
center of the crowd. No, I wasn't inside the crowd. No, that was the edge of it.
I guess we have different realities to what we're seeing, but
I mean, I was there,
To me,
and I
it
know
seemed
what I'm
like you were
talking about,
inside
but-
the crowd.
Well, that's your
And
perspective.
I
That's
think
correct.
that we had, right, it was, from the video that we just saw.
Yeah,
Another thing
I
that
was
we had
there,
a
though, but
conversation
okay.
about systemic racism, and an interesting thing about systemic racism is that police officers tend to arrest and tend to have negative interactions.
The police officers that arrested me were black, by the way.
With people of color. So interestingly, one of my observations is that
Of course, we gotta
although
get
it
the
was
white women
these
over here.
white tea scrawny liberals that were out here, rolling you on the ground, you ended up being the one that got arrested. Like that was a
Yeah, it's a false arrest.
That was a very
was arrested by
interesting
a
thing to
black
me,
cop.
which also a conversation that we had before. I had said, statistically speaking, I had looked at data that shows that police officers are more likely to search you if you're a black man. They're more likely to stop you if you're a black man. And honestly, your interaction, the whole thing that happened, kind of to me proves that the data is true.
It doesn't at all. So I was arrested by a black police officer. This person who read, wrote the report. Most of the cops were black. Those who came around me were the lieutenants and captains and everyone who were on the mobile field force. So I really don't know what you're talking about, honestly. It's ridiculous. Of course, we always got to have some white liberal woman come over here and try to explain
I'm
to
Mexican,
minorities.
number one. You don't know.
No, you're probably
talking
listen.
about.
Honestly,
I have,
phenotypically, you're
number
white.
one, so let me
Let's
tell
see that
you.
ancestry.
Now we're talking. Now we're going to.
Let's see that ancestry. I want to see that ancestry.
So let me.
Go
see.
ahead. Go ahead, Mexican.
I
Go ahead.
actually my major was in biology, molecular and
That's
cellular
cool.
biology. So I actually
What the
got
fuck
my
is that
DNA
supposed to mean?
I
Like
got my DNA.
you can do Miss Frizzle
tested.
shit? That's cool.
Again, if I'm not going to be able to speak, then there's no reason to have a conversation with you. So I actually know my ancestry. I actually know where I come from. So you can say whatever you want to. But interestingly, the fact that you're pointing out that the police officer was black when you got mollywopped by white tea liberal scrawny men.
So
is
getting pushed
wild.
down. Hold on.
The only
Getting
thing that you want
pushed
to
down
point
by
out,
4 people.
it's crazy
Hold on. Getting
because the
getting
only
pushed
thing
down by
that
4
you can
people.
take away from this
Hold on.
conversation, from the
Getting
whole thing
pushed
that
down
happened
by
to
4
you,
people. Hold on.
the only
Hold
thing
on.
you
Because
can
I
take
love when
away
I
is
love
the
when
black
liberal
person
white
that
women always
was a
have to tell
police
like
officer
minorities
is
like, listen, you know you were
It's
wrong.
literally crazy.
You
It's
understand you were
literally
wrong.
wild. Like it's
You
crazy.
went there
the only
on the
thing
wrong
you can point
tempo.
out is
You
what color the
understand?
police officer is.
Let me get my green bean
and let
casserole.
me tell
Listen,
you,
black
All right,
man.
okay.
Let's go to the
this.
next person. Let's go to the next person.
I'll say this, and then he can continue because he always overspeaks people.
I do.
I understand
Especially
why you
women
don't want to
like
go to
you.
HBCUs.
Most definitely.
I get it, and it's not the.
I love
reason
going to
you're saying,
HBCUs. I've been
I
there.
know why you didn't pull up to an HBCU
Why not?
because you're
Okay,
asking
guys.
and handed to you.
Because I would tell you this. So this is what I'm talking about with these white liberals. I tell you this. They always want to talk this talk, right? They hate they love minorities so much until they're on the other side. This is the prime example of this. This is why we don't allow women like this to talk at all. So let's get back into it, right?
Sarah, I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm talking to you, sweetie.
right,
No, let me get back. Let me get back into it. Let me get back into it. Hold on. Let me get back into it. Let me get back into it. Let me get back into it. Getting pushed down by 4 people when I'm not trying to be violent and I'm armed is completely different. It's always people who sit on the internet and love to talk, but they can never do. They can never back anything up.
Said white women are stealing hair culture from Dominicans for their sons. Let's watch.
White people have found another creative way to steal someone's culture.
Always the victims. Let's hear what now white people have stolen. They have stolen nothing from you people. Nothing. If they steal so much stuff, why do y'all keep living here?
And let me just explain it to y'all. So basically, they have went down yonder across the pond and hopped onto an island to steal the hair texture of black Dominicans.
You know this wouldn't bother me if you weren't wearing a white woman's wig right now. You probably wouldn't. If you had an afro, a dashiki on, some rollers, it would probably wouldn't have bother me. But you have a weave on, because you want to emulate and look like a white woman. No lies there. If you embrace your Afrocentric ways instead of trying to look like a white woman, maybe I would listen to this. But you trying to tell me that white women are trying to change their boys' hair because they play baseball to look like Dominicans? It's foolish. White dudes have been wearing their hair like this. This ain't comfortable.
So, Gray, the content is like kind of, to me, and I know you're a Democrat, it's very similar. He's going at Andre, but this is the kind of stuff that he does all day long. He makes this EBT content. What do you think? Why do you think he feels to go at Andre? But to me, he's one of he critiques the Black community and critiques the community as well. What do you think?
I think that it's kind of like a favoritism thing is probably a cliquey thing. Andre kind of makes like, content that gets at a lot of people. So it kind of does his own thing. So it's kind of like they probably feel like he's not a part of their in crowd. But thank you, Andre, for coming. You've been rocking with us for a long time. I know we're a smaller channel, and you've always worked with us. And congratulations on your success. You've gone viral. I see a lot of people sharing your stuff.
Yeah. So the next thing I want to play is Anton Daniels, and then I'll have Andre go first on this one. So Anton Daniels lives in Detroit. And Mia's been on his panels. We're friends with Kelly. We're friends with Mika. They work with him. So let me play this clip. This is the beginning of what he says.
Putting paws on you, putting paws on your face. Boy, you need to go ahead and retire at this point. I don't know him. I don't know him. I seen some of his stuff on the internet, and it just seemed like, all right, you trying a little bit too hard. I'm not really sure if you believe this or not. It seemed like he just trying a little bit too hard, that he don't really believe it or nothing like that. And so, I was like, he not going to make it. Because listen, a lot of times people be like, oh, they from Detroit, you from No, bro, listen, let me tell y'all something. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all before we move over to the next part of the show. I'm going to keep it so real. I'm going to keep it so 100 with you. All right. A lot of times, y'all think that these people are from Detroit, and they might be from Metro Detroit. All right. I don't know his story. I can't speak his story. All I can say is what I seen. But a lot of these people are from Metro Detroit. They be from Melvindale, Taylor, South Lyon, Novi. They're from, they from Pontiac. They feel like they from the top. He ain't from Pontiac. They say that they don't be from here, bro. Farmington Hills, Molly. Facts. They don't be from the city. They don't be from the city, bro. They just don't. And so a lot of people will say it, or what they'll do is they'll live outside of the city, and then they'll come into the city, and then they'll be saying stuff like they be in the city, but they come in to record content and they go home. You know what I'm saying? They come in, record content, and go home. A lot of them don't be born and raised here. And again, I can't speak from him, and I can't say what he is and where he ain't from, but all I can say is, because you should have known better than that. You should have known that a dude with Ugg boots was going to put paws on you. No, you're not from Southfield either. I ain't even going to say Southfield. I don't think you're from Southfield. No way.
Andre, why does that matter? Why is he talking about you're from Metro Detroit? I don't get it.
If I'm not mistaken, because niggas from Detroit, they like to rep this bullshit, but it ain't all that. Nigga, if anything, you're gonna say I'm from Highland Park. All right, that's as Detroit as we get. That's as ghetto and fucking dirty as we get. Go look at what Highland Park looks like. All right, born and raised, and in the house that my grandfather had purchased in 1972, living right next door to my mother, taking care of my family. We own property. All three properties we own here. We've been here for a very long time. So I don't know what this fool is talking about. Nobody in Ugg boots did anything. Like I said, you're getting pushed down by 4 people and you're armed and you're around thousands of people who are going to sit back and, as they were doing, trying to lie and say I was assaulting them as they did in the comments. Why am I going to sit here and get violent with these people when I know how these protests? I've done this multiple times. So people like Anton Daniels that sit on the screen and talk the shit, but won't go out there on the street and talk the shit like I've done multiple times for the past year. Don't sit here and try to talk to me about a damn thing. Now, the only thing I respect of Anton, he's been a very successful platform. He's a businessman. I remember watching him when Kevin Samuels was alive. I loved his content, his interactions with him. But Anton, don't sit here and try to step to my level talking about what goes on the ground. When you start doing straight debates or you start getting on the ground talking to people like I've done it, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. So I don't really have anything. And, let me go back to the story because he always does. He did this shit to me before. And this was in 2023. And I got a friend that can verify this interaction. When he was doing the Fight Club stuff, I went on his show and I interacted with Anton. And he didn't like the way I spoke. He said, yo, you're not from Detroit speaking like that. Ain't nobody from Detroit talk like that, the way you talk. I said, well, born and raised in Detroit. I told him where I went to school. Went to Jesu Catholic Elementary. That's on 6 Mile McNichols in Livernois, next to UD Jesuit. Went to Legacy Charter Academy. That's right down the street from Persian High School. If you know where that is, they're rebuilding that right now on 7 Mile. The only place I went to outside of Detroit was Madison Heights High School. And guess what? A lot of people from Pontiac, when they closed the school, went there. Went to Aisha Shule. That was closed down in 2013. I went to school with, what's his name? The Massey, the painter. Can't think of his first name. Very famous painter, a well-known painter here in Detroit. Went to school with his daughter, Leah Massey. So, Anton, you're going to sit here and say I'm not from Detroit. Born and raised, dude. Your high school don't matter where somebody said, Andre, what high school you graduate from. That shit don't matter either. Every day when I left the Army, I came back home to take care of my family and to make sure they were all right after being gone for 4 years. And I sat back and I make the content that I do in my neighborhood. And people know me and they know my content. And you know where I go after that? Go with my wife. We sit here and we enjoy ourselves in our house and I continue to do what I do. But to sit here and say, I'm not from Detroit, he ain't from Detroit because you sat back and you didn't fight back. Why am I going to fight back when I'm outnumbered with a bunch of people? And they saw these people never been any kind of counter protesting because they don't know how to do it. They'll sit back and champion black people in the 1960s when they didn't fight back, when they were doing peaceful sit-ins. They'll sit back and champion black people all throughout the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and 80s when they did peaceful marches and peaceful protests and they were attacked. You'll champion them. I'm trying to do the same thing against people who are anti-American, who are for mass migration, which is lowering wages and destroying our country, who these big multinational corporations want to use these people, it's modern day slavery, it's cheap labor to replace working class people. And also people who are going to school, who are, instead of hiring Americans that put thousands and if not hundreds of thousands of dollars into debt and trying to get these degrees, they want to hire someone from India, someone from China, when they should be hiring someone, a black or white kid that's been going to school first and foremost. These people want to sit back and criticize me, but a lot of these motherfuckers will never get on the ground and do anything I do. Come to a protest with me, or come do a street debate with me. Come and sit down and do things that I've done with other people who can sit back and attest to my leadership and what I've done on the ground and how I've taught them. I've got tons of people who work with me on that. So this shit's goofy. Anton, like I said, respect to his business. He's a fantastic businessman. A fantastic, no disrespect on that point, but his perspective on shit. Simmer the fuck down.
Andre, do you think what you did is comparable to sit-ins?
I would say when you're going out there and you're protesting and you're standing up for what you believe in, hell yes. If you're going out there and you're facing people who hate your way of life, who don't like you, like I said, if you've been in this kind of stuff, you've actually faced this stuff. It's Chicago. The inauguration, did 4 days of that, both for Chicago and the inauguration. The RNC, all right, the DNC. These people, if you think the right is violent, which I do agree, we have a tendency to be violent. The left is just as violent. When you're out there on the ground and people's opinions and voices are being heard and being shouted, people say all types of shit and they can get all types of dirty. It's not nice on either side. So, and we've seen that all throughout history.
Okay,
nice on either side.
So if the worst outcome would have happened, do you think you would be a martyr?
If the worst outcome were to happen, it is what it is. That's the whole. Here's what I tell people when they come with me. And this is why I like to do it. I do my own thing because I don't have to worry about being responsible and having someone's mother say like, oh, you took my son or you took my husband. I don't have to deal with that. I'd rather take the lead and move forward because if something happens to me, I don't really care. I'm going to be proven right in the end on what I believe in. I'm going to have my voice and what I've been saying be proven right. And if my voice carries for a day or carries for a week or carries for years, that's up to y'all after I'm gone. I can care less. What I do now and what I've accomplished in my life, I'll stand for. And we'll see even after of those who will carry it forward. But if I'm out there telling people, hey, I don't want mass migration. And mind you, most of these people who are out there protesting, they're not from Detroit. And if anything, they're from the gentrified areas of Detroit, or they're sitting there as college kids. Most of the people, those white kids out there, and even some of the blacks, they're not from Detroit. They're from the suburbs. And I challenged them on that. And they looked goofy when I did it on the ground. So it's ridiculous at the end of the day what these people are saying. Yeah, somebody said my goal is to get attention. That's the whole point of going to a protest and doing a protest, to get attention, dumbass. That's the whole point. Like, oh, you're trying to get attention. Like, yeah, that's the whole point. Like, to get media attention.
If we look at
I want to add on to this too.
People had a goal.
Yeah, I want Enzo to get in here after.
As to why they were protesting. They
Yeah, to get attention, to
that
bring
they were
attention to
asking
something.
for.
Yeah, to bring attention to an issue,
AKA
awareness.
civil rights, and therefore they
Yes,
went and
that you have to do what?
It
You
wasn't-
protest to get attention,
You're the
right?
first person that I've ever said, "Oh, I want to go out here to get attention." I guess.
Yeah,
need
that's
the
what you
attention.
do when you
and you got it,
protest.
and you got the attention.
Yeah, so hold on.
Good for you.
Let me go down to this. I should be attacked and be falsely arrested for practicing my constitutional rights. Me as someone who serves, someone who is a law-abiding citizen, I should be attacked when I go out there and do the same thing these people were doing. That's justifiable. See, these fucking people are so weak.
See,
These
this
people
is
are
what
so
this
fucking
is
disgusting
what
and
this
so
is
double-minded.
what.
This is why you can't have a
Okay,
conversation.
all right, let's
This is what low
pause.
IQ people bring up, bro. This is low IQ people bring. No, this is what low IQ white women bring up. This is why we can't have you talking. This is why we should take the right away from you.
Hold on. I'm muting mics. Hold on. Enzo, go ahead.
So I want to add on to what Andre was saying, because I did go to another No Kings protest in, pretty sure that was July, the one in New York. And almost, it could have been a similar situation to yours, but here's the thing, right? I'm not even 10 feet out of my car, right? And I have a group of people come up to me just because I'm wearing this hat and say, what the fuck are you doing here? Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to fucking stab the shit out of you and leave you in the street just for being there. And I think this is absolutely ridiculous that this happened to you. And, you know, good for you for standing up for yourself. You're a better man than me, because I had my piece on me. If I wasn't by myself, trust me, somebody else would have been laid out on the floor, and it wouldn't be me. Because it's my life versus yours, and I'm going to take yours all day long to protect myself. And I'll sit in a jail cell all day long, and I will say that. These protests are absolutely ridiculous. Looney Tune bullshit that the left is doing. I'm going to keep calling it out every single time you guys do it. You're protesting no kings at the end of the day. Donald Trump's not a king. Donald Trump doesn't act like a king. He's not a dictator. He's not a fascist, even though half of you can't even define what fascist is. So I would just cut the bullshit. The Democrats have lost. You guys really have no path forward at all. So again, I'm just going to keep saying it. You guys are ridiculous at this point, doing what you're doing. And then you want to call out the right for being violent when this is what you guys are doing.
So
It's
my
damned
question,
if you do and damned if you don't. What?
I don't think Mia went yet. I don't
okay,
think
wait a minute. Okay, I have a,
Mia.
Yeah, what's up? Oh, hold on, what?
You have a question for Andre?
Honestly, not really. Honestly, I'm just sitting back and just watching the show at this point in time. I think everybody has pretty much answered everything we need to know. We saw quite a few clips. Andre, I will say, I definitely did defend you. Everybody as my witness. I said that was not right to get beat up or assaulted for using your First Amendment. So I was right there with you, buddy. So not everybody was against you. I absolutely said nobody should be hurt, threatened, assaulted, or anything for exercising the First Amendment right, especially in a permitted public space. So, I mean, if that counts for something, not every person was against you.
I think my question would just be like to piggyback off what Enzo was saying. If this is like Looney Tunes and this is like irrational people, what's the win? Right? Okay, attention, right? What's the win? Because it's not about to be any engaging conversation. It's not about to be any discourse about different political ideologies, what works and what doesn't. If that is the outcome, right? For example, I'm not gonna go and just put myself in the middle of a KKK rally. What's the op? We're not about to walk out holding hands. What's the win? I don't get what the win is. So if the worst thing would have happened to you in that situation, bro, to me, it's in vain, because what is the philosophy that you're coming there with? Like, what is the win? You know what I'm saying? Like, it the
I can tell you what the win is.
the next day people would have forgot about you, and
It's
your
not
name
about
was
that.
out of the news cycle. Like, what's the win?
Who gives a fuck? See, this is the problem with a lot of people in the West. You know, they put too much importance on their life only. And we compare this to the East. Now we, examine other people, and they do movements. They care more about the grand collective or the message. That's what it is. So when you go out and you're doing these protests, which the political right hasn't really done anything in terms of a organized protest that's legitimate since Unite the Right, since 2017, since Charlottesville, which was a fucking disaster because a lot of people were incompetent at running that. Richard Spencer and the many. Cantwell, which I call him, he does shitty streams now because he was embarrassed at that protest, did terrible. And we really haven't seen anything beyond that. Honestly, we really just haven't seen anything that's been successful. You've got groups like Patriot Front and some of the Will to Rise movements that do kind of protest, but they do it with no permit, which is, it's not, there's so much shit that can happen. So the motivation is to get people who are so pro-American online. And so I'm for America first. I'm for this. I can't stand liberals. I can't stand the left. And they talk on Twitter and they talk on YouTube. But it's like, hey, why don't you go out here and challenge these people directly? Why don't you go out here and get on the ground and do it? The left is willing to do. That's the one thing I respect about the left. They're willing to get out and organize. They can get something together. The right, for all the talk that they do, for all the talk that we do as a collective, we can't go out and do it. We can get online and make a group chat. We can get online and get a live stream going. We can sit back and flood a comment section and ratio someone. But when it comes down to get out here and to stand firm on what you believe in, they won't do it. And I'm tired of seeing it. I've been seeing it for the last 10 years with a lot of people. I've been seeing it over and over again. But of course, what the response a lot of people would say is, well, when we look at the history of how everything has been going in this country, the right is charged a lot more. You have a lot more feds and right-wing groups and right-wing circles that will try to break up these organizations or break up. That's a lot of truth on that. The right is police a lot more in this country than the left is, especially at this current time. So we're looking at a time where I don't believe in this. My side is always going to win. I believe my side is going to win just because it's right. My side is going to win either because it has the biggest gun, it has the biggest tongue, it has the biggest podium, and it has the most people. Might makes right at the end of the day. That's what it is. If the left has more people and a stronger voice, and more people who are willing to die for what they believe in, then they're going to win. That's how every movement throughout history has won, be it in China, be it in Russia, be it in Germany, be it in France, be it in this country. That's how it's always going to be. So in order for any kind of political victory or any kind of change in the cultural zeitgeist, you got to have people who are willing to get out there and get their hands dirty. And sometimes you're going to have people who get killed early on. And it is what it is. Every revolution or every political movement or any kind of change, and having someone, okay, CIA, which is fucking disgusting for you to call me CIA when you know I'm not fucking CIA. And that's not CIA.
Yeah, Andre, what's up with that? A lot of people are saying you're a Fed.
Yeah, which is fucking disgusting because you know why they say I'm a Fed? Because they're weak and they sit online all day. And going outside and touching grass is like only things that federal agents do. No, I've been around people. People know me. I got people who can verify me. I'm not a fucking Fed. They always do this. I'll say this, right? They did the same thing to Nick. We've seen the video. They'll call people who are genuine and authentic Feds because we have a lot of fake people in this world. We have a lot of fake people today. We have a lot of people who will sit on their ass and do nothing and complain about everything. But when you actually get out there and want something, you say you believe in all these things. She said, oh, you are HR for the military, dumbass. Fuck off, Heaven. Go take care of your how many bastard children you have, Heaven? Okay. Are those eggs nice and cold? Oh, they're not. They're dry. Okay, anyway. Tell me your birthday, December 18th, 2000. I'm a Fed, right? Oh, did I go to oh shit, I'm a Fed. That's pretty young for a Fed. I don't know. Those eggs aren't young anymore. We'll say
that's
that.
the other thing, Andre. People said you're not that young. That's the other thing people they've been dragging online. They're like, he ain't really 24.
Well, why would any guy want to look younger than what he is? If for women, they want to look younger, right? They want to look younger. You don't ever want to tell a woman you look older than what you are. For a guy, no one wants to hear like I look younger for what I am, which is like a fucking kid. So I really don't take any offense to that shit. I mean, yeah, who cares about the age shit?
So for the record, you're not a Fed, correct? We're gonna
Ah,
squash this here and now.
Yeah, that's. I don't have a
I'll
line to
squash all the
Langley.
rumors.
Yeah, there's no line to
convinced
Langley
Andre
over
the
here. Yeah.
Okay.
One last clip about you, and then we're gonna move to the next topic. This is the last thing that I got Anton say. He pulled your card, man. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Why isn't it playing? Hold on. Oh, it's like it doesn't. Hold on. Guys, if you're watching on either.
Look at what's happening from there. White liberals put the pause on him. It wasn't even black people. Black people have nothing to do with it. If you go to these No King protests, I've seen them that was out in the streets. It was during the time that they was also doing the marathon run. Black people wasn't even out here like that. Them is white lip. He got paws on him from a snow hair. I would have even been able to, okay, you know what? Because everybody, you can't win them all. You're going to take a L, you're going to give some. You got to at least put up a good fight. Though. You got to put up your dukes. You can't be, if a nigga pull your jacket over your head. No, that's unacceptable. That's just unacceptable. Never let anybody pull your jacket over your head, bro. Don't
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Somebody's cock.
Nobody
Now,
pulled their jacket over my head at all.
Honestly,
is it because when you rolled
on the internet, give
Yeah, nobody pulled my jacket over my head, and heaven forbid I dropped my weapon. Nobody dropped their weapon at all. I had a weapon on me. If I were to fight back, how does it look in front of a court?
Oh God!
It's two times that you go to sleep, like you just take a really good nap. Either you lost a lot of money at the casino, you get real sleepy.
Like I said,
Yo, he had like that smoke for you.
Yeah, this is all from people, like I said, will never go out and say anything that he says on his show or with the people he's ever been with on the ground. So, like I said, Anton, sit in your chair. And the one thing I wasn't going to let when these guys are sitting here pushing me repeatedly, one thing I'm not going to sit back and is fall down. So I decided I'm going to get back up. I'm not going to sit there on the ground and just like, oh, no, that's weak. Get the fuck back up and stand up. Nobody grabbed my weapon. Made sure of that. The reason why I took a weapon is, because people like to get followed from these events. I've been to events where we had guys who got followed back by people and attacked. I've seen that over the years. So I'm going to carry, and I'm in Detroit, so I know where I'm living at. I know exactly how my area is. And there were black people there. And the people who pushed me down were the organizers of the event. So that's something that I'll talk about at a later time when I weigh all my options. But that's the problem. I'm there to practice my constitutional rights. I'm there to speak my piece and counter protest, which is my right. And then not am I attacked by the people who were there. I'm attacked by the organizers of the event because they don't like what I'm saying. And they're allowing people, and there were Antifa members there in the crowd, which they continuously deny, that were threatening towards me. And I'm shouting my shit back. I'm not going to sit back and act like I wasn't, it was all, guns and roll. Oh, I was the little lamb there. And no, shouting shit back. And you've got and heaven, like I said, it's people like this that never go to these things, weren't there, but they want to sit from their cheers and talk shit. Like I said, come to these rallies or go to these events and you'll see how it is. Look at the guys who went to the HBCU and got attacked by these animals. Look, shit, when I was doing the shit with earlier, when it came to the Black Hebrew Israelites a few hours earlier, they were violent and they were rowdy. And they had people on the street talking shit. So, I mean, I've done this multiple times. Shit happens at the end of the day. You just get back up and you keep going. And these people, I don't know why people keep acting like this is going to stop me from what I'm doing or it's hurt me. It hasn't.
Heaven says she's been going for 2 years. Heaven does go to protests.
You go to protests? What protests have you been to? Now, have you actually been? I'm talking about going to counter protests, not sit there and you're with the boys and girls. And I got some cut water. Let me wave a flag. I'm talking about you're there. You're challenging people directly, not some old boomer that's like, I voted for Trump, Sally Sue. No, were people there who are your equals and you can challenge them. That's something you should.
I feel like my ADHD is kicking up because the only thing I heard from that entire spiel was cut water, and
Of
my
course
first
you
thought is,
did.
ew, who drinks cut water? Man, we drink twisted teas when we're when we're out doing up to no good because they're road sodas. That was like my first thought.
Oh,
Don't listen to me, kids. Don't listen to me. Road sodas don't exist. You should never open a road soda. Just throw that out there.
Mia, we have no idea what you're talking about.
no,
I know. But back on the Anton, man, like, Anton, I'm open for a debate. I'm open for a discussion. I think you're a joke, honestly. Respect your business, 100%. I always respect it, but I think when it comes to politically, you're no different than like a black Sean Hannity, honestly, in my opinion. But get those checks, my boy. Get those checks.
It's giving a lot of credit, Black Sean Hannity. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, that's lame now. That's very lame. But Sean Hannity? Who the fuck watches that? Like grandma at 8? Like, I don't watch that shit. Everybody's watching Candace or Tucker or Nick. They're not watching it, Sean.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anything else anyone wants to ask before we move on?
No.
All right. Wow.
Andre,
are you going to stay
now.
for the whole show, Andre?
I do have an emergency. I'll stay for a few more minutes. I'm having an emergency call.
I say is keep up the good work, bro.
Yeah.
I'll stay for like another 10 minutes or so just to keep
Okay.
it fair.
Well, we're moving on to the NBA betting scandal. This was the second biggest story of the week, right after Andre. The Fed said that there's a betting scandal, mafia, there's all sorts of things going on. We're going to break it down. Here we go.
This alleged illegal gambling operation hustled unwitting victims out of tens of millions of dollars and created a financial pipeline for La Cosa Nostra to help fund and facilitate their organized criminal activity. Victims were attracted to play alongside well-known professional athletes and coaches like Chauncey Billups, only to be unknowingly deceived through rigged shuffling machines, fixing the odds in their favor, as alleged and as you just heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office. This alleged scheme wreaked havoc across the nation, exploiting the notoriety of some and the wallets of many to fund the Italian crime families here in New York.
Andre, 'cause I know you gotta head out. I'm going to let you. Oh, wait. Sorry. He's on a call. Okay. So when he's off the call, I'll let him go first. Gray, what do you think about the Italian betting crime family?
I think it's crazy. I hear everybody saying that, oh, that's why I don't bet on the NBA. I know that it's rigged, that the NBA is rigged, that they'll rather bet on other sports, and other stuff like this has happened before with the refs. I don't know if y'all remember that when the referees was betting on the game and they was fixing the games.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of weird things going on with this whole betting thing. This next clip is my favorite person, Lauren Conlon. She does true crime. This is what she had to say.
To recap the FBI press conference this morning in the Eastern District of New York in Brooklyn as it pertains to the unsealed indictments of Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier. I have not gotten my hands on the indictments yet. I emailed the DOJ. I am searching for them, so stay tuned. But this is huge. Kash Patel called this the insider trading of the NBA. And apparently there are many charges that are going to be brought forth against Billups, against Rozier, as well as at least 31 other people, and more are expected to come forward and self-surrender. But these charges include conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering, operating an illegal gambling enterprise, and exploiting non-public athlete/coach information to profit from bets. And this investigation links schemes tied to several New York organized crime families and apparently spans across 11 states. I mean, the fact that Kash Patel was sitting there saying, we are taking down the NBA and La Cosa Nostra, that blew my mind. So let me see. Billups and Rozier are expected to show up for a hearing in New York in the Eastern District at a later date, but today they are each going to be in federal court in the cities that they were arrested in. So Billups will be in Portland and Rozier will be in Orlando. Now, here are the details. Billups is being charged in a poker scheme alleged to be run by organized crime families across Manhattan, the Hamptons, Vegas, where bettors were duped by rigged operations and lured into these games by high-profile athletes and members of the mafia. And then Rozier, he was accused of providing non-public NBA information to co-conspirators between 2022 and 2024, who then placed bets using straw bettors. And this, and these are prop bets. This means that you bet on an individual athlete. So they cited an example during a March 2023 game where he left after 9 minutes following heavy betting on his, quote, underperformance. So again, this is an open, ongoing investigation. Cash Patel urged other people to come forward. There will be more arrests. And again, once I get the indictment, I'll post an update. But yeah, this is crazy.
Skeptic, they're saying that LeBron James might be involved. What do you think?
I really honestly haven't kept up with it, with all the stuff that's currently going on, but I don't doubt it. I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people involved, and a lot of people have benefited from it. So that's sad that they. I mean, I guess if it was working for you, it's making you money. I guess so.
Enzo, what's your thoughts? What do you think about the fact that they're alleging that the mafia is involved and all of that? Is it real? Is it fake? Fake news? What do you think?
What's the mafia? It ain't real. That ain't a real thing. I don't know what the hell they talking about. Don't be disrespecting my Italian, my fellow Italians like that, saying the Costa Nostra. It's La Costa Nostra. That's how you say it, jackass. Okay. So, listen, there's no secret that people bet on basketball. Everybody's known this for the longest time. Listen, I'm gonna say, like, there are people within organized societies and affiliations with people that will tell people to throw a game so everybody can make money. Everybody knows about this. This has been going on with boxing, with baseball, with basketball. I'm happy that it's actually happening now with basketball, and that's why I stopped playing basketball or stopped watching basketball, because I knew it was all fucking rigged. And if LeBron's caught up in this, good. I hate LeBron, so good. And go Bucks. That's it.
Well, they're saying for sure it's a Miami Heat player. Go Heat. Here we go. This is the clip breaking it down.
And the lead is still running, Richard. Still going. Oh, Rozier turned it over again. Having a tough night. And Rozier off the DHO. And he turned it over. Turn it up. But you don't want to play with your team, especially against the Miami Heat. I tell you, hey, you don't like playing in Miami? Yeah. Better do on. Lock down to 3. They got to get busy. Rozier with a 9-1-1 comes up short. On Merrill. Rozier, a contested 3 is short. The ultimate teammates and sacrifice so much. Rozier on the show and go. That all year. Empty corner 2-man game. Rozier with a 3. Anderson with a rebound. Rozier relocates for another try. Boy, that was awfully short.
So, Mia, what do you think? They also said the Celtics might be involved. What's your thoughts?
I'm not surprised. I mean, everybody bets I'm surprised that people are surprised. I'm literally surprised that people are surprised. I mean, every couple years, there's always a very large story about like insider betting, people throwing games, dirty referees. I think, didn't the Chiefs referees just get arrested or indicted or something earlier this year, because they were throwing games and positively for the Chiefs or whatnot. I mean, everybody's trying to make a dollar, but I'm like really surprised that people are so surprised about the mafia still being around. Like, who do you think are running the ports in this country? Who do you think are
Not
running all
real.
the unions? Who do you think is running the Teamsters? Who? Every single union in this country, it doesn't matter. They're either run by the Italians or the Irish. You ain't never going to go to a union and have it not run by the Italians or the Irish. People are stupid in this country. It's crazy to me that people are so
Fake
surprised by
news.
this.
As a
I'm
resident
sorry,
Italian,
Enzo.
it's all alleged. It's all fake news. That is not real.
It's the truth. But yeah, it's fake
Dude,
news.
that's the sad thing. I'm Italian and Irish.
It's like, who literally, I can't think of a single union anywhere in this country that is not run by a syndicate somewhere, some shape or form. And they do that because it's your uncle, your cousins. Like, you can only get into a union if you know somebody or related somebody. It's very difficult to be a backdoor rat to get into a union. And if anybody says otherwise, yeah, that's why everybody's related. It's all insider collusion going on in the unions.
And what do you think? Do you think it's a surprise? Do you think it's fake news? Like Stephen A. Smith says that he thinks that this is all connected to the NFL and Bad Bunny, and this is retaliation from Trump and his administration. That's what I heard he said today. I got to go find that clip. What, you think it's all connected? Is it like, what do you think?
Well, I think when it comes to escapism, the public needs the thing that they're escaping to be authentic. You need it to be real, right? Because life is so stressed the fuck out. You know what I mean?
True.
Mothering and fathering and adulting and bills, and so you need your TV show to be real, right? You don't look at these people as gladiators. These dudes are 6'11". You know what I'm saying? The NFL dudes are 350 pounds. These are modern gladiators like the Roman Colosseum, and you need to believe that this is real. You know what I mean? And I also say, I don't know if this is about money a lot of times. I think that sometimes you're made offers that you can't refuse. And I also think that people have interesting lifestyles behind the scenes, right? I think a lot of this is blackmail, right?
True.
People party, people mess with the same women, the same men, children. I think people have proclivities and deviancies, and I think this is a way to pay your debts. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised, because I know these are cabals, and this is a good way for you to work your debts off.
Yeah. Well, I found the clip, guys. I'm going to play the clip of Stephen A. Smith. It's on X. Here we go.
How many times, for one incident after another, have I said Trump is coming? He's coming. I'm going to say it on national television again. Bad Bunny is performing at the Super Bowl, and all of a sudden you hearing ICE is going to be looking to engage in mass deportations. The Super Bowl, disrupting things. Big night for the NBA. Wembanyama put on a show. That has now been smeared because we're talking about this story, okay? Remember, Trump has a long, long history connected to the world of sports because he had those casinos. Where do you think folks were coming half the time? I'm not talking about individuals. I'm talking about the culture. When people want to go to a casino, when people want to gamble, when people want to party, or whatever the case may be. This was his kind of connection to that. Why am I glad you're here, Monica? Because don't be surprised if the WNBA is next on his list. Because when you've got all of these protests that have been going out there and people that have been protesting against him and what have you, this man is coming. He's coming. And I've been saying it for a long time. And to me, this is the latest nugget of evidence that we're talking about right here. That's not to question the legitimacy of the case. We don't know. We're all sitting up here and we're saying that we don't know. But anybody that has been around him, anybody that has talked to him, anybody that has seen his reactions from the sports leagues and the positions that people have taken, they are not surprised at what's going on today. I'm watching a press conference with the director of the FBI. Tell me when we've seen that. We've seen people, we've seen accusations before. We've seen athletes get in trouble with the law before. You don't see the director of the FBI having a press conference. It's not coincidental. It's not an accident. It's a statement. And it's a warning that more is coming. And that's what they're saying here. And everybody better, I'm just telling you, it's as serious as it gets. This ain't the platform for me to get into it the way I'm going to get into it. But I've been saying he's coming. He's coming because in his eyes, folks try to throw him in jail. In his eyes, he's innocent. They try to put me behind bars. I'm getting everybody. He's not
So
playing.
what does this have to do with Bad Bunny?
In a lot of
I
people's
don't know.
eyes, talk to people in the
Good
NBA,
question.
talk
But
to
I ain't
people in
lied.
the NFL,
I told
talk
y'all
to
I
people in
said
the
it.
world of sports. They think this is like the tip of the iceberg. These are the kind of words that are coming out of people's mouths. It's not a surprise. It's very disheartening. It's very concerning. We don't know where this is going to go, but this is just the tip of the iceberg.
So
That
yeah,
just
he
feels like
said.
bullshit.
Huh? Say that again, Ken.
I just feel like bullshit. Like it's just put Trump in it. Just Stephen
Orange
A's
man bad.
right. Stephen A's an actor, right? He's
Yeah.
an actor. He just got an incredible contract. You know what I'm saying? He's an actor, so he is going to shift attention to a very polarizing place. You know what I mean? That just he's coming. He's listen to how it sounds. You know what I mean? Debo's coming. Debo's coming. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. This fear just it's fear. ESPN is ran by Disney. That's what it felt like. It felt like I'm waiting for this big monster to come. Trump is coming. Trump is coming. Like, come on, dog.
I want to comment on that too. I mean, like
Go
I
ahead.
said about Stephen A multiple times, he needs to stick to commentating on sports and literally, like Ken just said, and what I said, it's orange man bad. They're gonna blame Trump for doing anything. Good, Trump is going after criminals. Good, Trump is going after illegal immigrants. Good, Trump is doing this. He's in office to do what we voted for. If there's gonna be whatever, illegal migrants or undocumented migrants at the Super Bowl, so be it. Send them there. Who gives a shit? Like, with this whole thing with Bad Bunny, it's so fucking stupid too. Like, nobody really gives a shit. Like, you're gonna put somebody on the Super Bowl who said they're not going to sing in English for majority English fans who don't even know one Bad Bunny fucking song to make a statement. That's what you're doing. Like, cool. Like, it's just, this is just stupid to me in my eyes. All of it. Everybody and anybody's just coming after Trump every which way to Sunday.
I'm just still confused how Bad Bunny and Puerto Ricans are like catching a stray here. I'm just like super confused by it. I'm like, how do we go from La Costa Nostra,
To
betting
Bad
ring,
Bunny.
and then to Bad Bunny? I'm confused.
Skeptic, do you see any correlation? Do you think this is Trump's revenge? What do you think?
I do not see any correlation. I'm also lost. I don't know how we did the jump, but I've noticed that logic and critical thinking lacks in a certain group of people. So like it's like it can go wherever. People will. I don't know what undocumented immigrants have to do with Puerto Ricans either. Puerto Rico is a territory. People that live in Puerto Rico are U.S. citizens. So like it's like logic, just throw logic out the door. Who cares? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see why he said that other than they got something on him too, like what Ken said. Like, this is just all random. Then he apologizes to Jasmine Crockett this week, which was a shocker to me. It's a lot of random things going on with Stephen A this week. You know what I think? The Democrats are scared he's going to run and they're trying to make him look stupid. That's what I think. They probably got something on him. And I don't know. Like, I just think it's really random. And the reason why I said the Democrats is because it was rumored he was going to run. And that was supposed to be who was going against MAGA and JD Vance and all of that. So I don't know. That's what I think. But switching gears, final topic of the night, and then we'll go into some closing thoughts. Al Sharpton is a Fed. We talked about Feds tonight. So we're going to bring up a confirmed CI, confirmed Fed. No questions. For years, it was rumored that he was. Let me play this clip and then we can talk about it and get into some closing thoughts. Here we go. Shout out to Al Sharpton.
Sharpton has come clean about his secret past as a government informant. CBS 2's Dave Carlin tells us the activist admitted to helping the FBI bring down some of New York's most wanted.
I was not and am not a rat.
The Reverend Al Sharpton, identified as confidential informant CI7, now admitting he wore a wire for the FBI. He helped the government go after boxing promoter Don King, music executives, and mobsters, including Vincent the Chin Gigante, who famously wore his robe and pajamas in public.
I was cooperating.
Sources say that cooperation likely started after he was nabbed in a drug sting caught on video. Helping the feds may have helped him. But Sharpton says he went to them because members of the mob wanted him dead.
So Sharpton was smoking crack?
Sharpton is kicking off his National Action Network convention this week with headliners President Obama and Mayor de Blasio, who defended Sharpton.
I think he has done a lot of good for the city of New York and for this country.
Retired NYPD Detective Sergeant Joseph Jackalone says unmasking any confidential informant troubles him.
You never want this because we need people to help cooperate, so this is an unfortunate incident.
Sharpton said he has no regrets. He'd do it all again. Dave Carlin, CBS 2 News.
Oh, this is bizarro world, yo.
They caught him in a drug scheme too. So he must have been like a crackhead or something. Because back then they were smoking crack in the early '80s. So he must have been a crackhead.
I swear to God, I'm living in a parallel.
Did he get arrested for being with prostitutes in the 80s?
Yo.
This is crazy. This is wild.
Let me. The reason why this is wild is because let's just think about 20, 30 years ago. Just think about all the political movements. Think about, grassroots things. He's been allowed to walk indoors and hear strategies. You know what I mean? This is just what they're reporting on. But he's been allowed to be next to grassroots people, right? Okay. So now what you do is apply this to everybody. So if he's wearing a wire, then Jesse Jackson did too. Right?
True.
I will go further than that to say, one of the longest standing Black organizations in America is the Nation of Islam. And I would be, if I apply that to everybody, then Farrakhan is still alive, right? I'm going to apply it to every single organization, every single person, because if you are allowed to move and shake, you're saying it looks like you're saying controversial things. It looks like you're against the system. They don't give a fuck about that. At the end of the day, you're on the same side. You know what I'm saying? But this has mad implications because apply this to everybody. Apply this to Umar. You know what I mean? Apply this to everybody. And what's scary about it is because these people have access to real girls and boys, men and women that are doing grassroots things that aren't tainted, and they're coming to speak at schools. You remember Darren Sills from the Black Lives Matter, the young dude that got found in the car? You know what I'm saying? That was mad suspicious. You know what I'm saying? So this is bizarre world.
I mean, I'm not shocked, but keep going. Sorry.
I was gonna say, just because one person read it don't mean everybody read it. I mean, so I mean, it's wild that Al Sharpton was a rat, the way he acts, but you gotta watch people. You never know who's wearing a wire.
True, but birds of a feather tend to flock together. So
come on,
man. Birds of a feather flock together.
Come on, bro.
If somebody has to be going after somebody. Somebody has to be the person getting snitched on.
Great,
yeah, of course.
You think this is one-offs?
And someone from Andre's chat said, "What is a CI? A CI is a confidential informant."
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, he ratted on the mafia guys. He ratted on them, and we don't know who else he ratted on. But somebody's getting ratted on, is what I'm saying. So everybody can't be a rat because somebody got to go to jail.
Yeah.
Somebody said in the chat, "I'm not a rat. I was an informant." That's crazy. We live in some crazy times. I wasn't a rat. I was an informant. It's wild. That's a wild statement.
Oh Lord. Well, guys, it's been a very eventful night. We are going to start with closing thoughts. Skeptic, welcome back. I'll let you go first.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back. My welcome back was very, very much the new party. I want to start off by saying I'm gonna finish my statement from prior. Be careful that you look out for people that are not that intellectual, that are just out here just speaking off the side of their mouth and don't really have a purpose. Like, you should be skeptical. The reason why my name is Skeptic, the reason why I chose that was for a reason. I'm a very skeptical person. And I also want to say I have no respect for a man that I know I could mollywalk. Like, I'm sorry. One thing about me, if you know me in real life, I got in trouble at work. I almost fought somebody at work. I don't play that. You don't disrespect me. I grew up in a rough part of town, and let me tell you, we don't play that. So I have no respect for a man. Ain't no man gonna come up and try to talk to me. I know I could whoop your ass. Like, it's just not gonna happen. So I think that people are gonna get what they're looking for. So if you come out here and you want to counter protest, I know that they sold you that there were snowflakes out there, but in reality, there's veterans that are out here that are done with everything that's going on. And I do want to say that they're currently cutting Social Security disability for old people. Like, the things that are currently happening are a big deal. People are fed up with what's going on. They're cutting SNAP benefits. I know where I work at, we help people. I know families that will be losing benefits, like literally real life. People are literally being affected by this. Yeah, show up at a rally, show up at a protest when people have emotions that they want to release. I know why there was a suspension on going to HBCUs, and it ain't whatever excuse we got told. We know why. So, keep on playing games. Like, play stupid games, you get stupid prizes. So, like, it's kind of hard to look at people and take them seriously. We need to stop platforming these people. We need to stop giving them attention. They're really not worth it. And I appreciate being back on the new party. This has been a very eventful night. And follow me on TikTok. I've been kind of trying to get back on lives and talking about everything that's currently going on, because a lot of people kind of are missing it out. And I think a lot of the news that are coming out are kind of like smoke and mirrors. They don't want us to really get together and go against this oligarch and this regime that is literally oppressing the American people. So good night. Thank you, guys.
Ken, thank you for coming.
Thank you for
What's your
having
closing
me.
thoughts?
Protesting, getting in the street, I get it, right? But you always got to know what age you're in, right? That was analog to me. And I think you really want to affect the world, you got to do something that's very difficult, that is never really the option. And that's doing like massive inner work. And the massive inner work will affect the outer world. I don't encourage people to be a sacrificial lamb, right? I don't encourage people to dive headfirst into, trying to go be a martyr, and no one's gonna remember your name. No, like, do the inner work, right? We are in a space and in a world where you don't know what you're looking at. Up is down, left is right. It's bizarro world, right? What you think is real is not real. And I would hate for you to be frontlining for some things that's being controlled by the CIA. They fund both sides. You know what I mean? And you got your emotions tied up into things you don't even know what it is. The one thing you do have control over is your mind and your gut. Like, do the inner work. And I'll land here. The majority of people you're seeing online have worms in their body. Seriously, they're sick, right? So if a person has worms in their body, parasites in their gut, right? I would hate for you to be activated and triggered by a person that has parasites in their stomach and they need to detox. Get healthy, yo. Focus on yourself, do the inner work, and then the rest will fall in place.
Oh man, how do I follow up with that? But guys, if you're watching, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. Also, before we go to the rest of the closing thoughts, we did do a giveaway tonight, guys. I want to announce the winners. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. We are doing a giveaway. Well, we did do a giveaway tonight, but for those of you that didn't get the giveaway, we have our memberships on sale for $199. You can have the emoji and the exclusive member content. Shout out to Eric, Kamal Johnson, Patrick, Pie Face, Meow Meow, Hipsy Gypsy, Ray Ray, Ladybug, Angry Gamer, Alton Jansen Live, who's a friend of the show. So shout out to you guys. You guys got the giveaway. And for my closing thoughts, I really don't have much to say other than I have a funny clip I just want to play. This was going to be my intro clip.
Dr. Dre, he's a real doctor. He's a really good doctor. I have some good doctors. I never met a doctor that made beats. Never made it before. I don't know if he went to medical school, but I'm going to tell you right now, this guy has the best music. I love NWA.
Bro, I'm not doing this. No.
Negroes with attitudes.
We're not doing this.
He's a Negro with a great attitude. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite black producers. You're so great. You're so amazing. I swear to God, all your music. The G thing is my favorite. You got to do a T thing, a Trump thing. You know?
I did not approve this message.
I love this guy, Dr. Dre.
Okay, Gray, what's your closing thoughts?
That was a funny clip. As far as with the protest stuff, I mean, it's kind of crazy. You have the right to protest. You're putting yourself at risk. Me personally, I would rather try to have a conversation with people to try and like fix the government, because the government is just a mixture or organization that basically changes every time someone else goes in there, and they're trying to fix it in different ways. So I would hope that we could come to some type of common ground. As far as the betting, you gotta be careful with betting. And there's a 100 gambling line if you're having issues with betting. Thank you, Andre, for coming. I know Andre's content can be salacious and offensive, but if we talk to these people, maybe we can fix what's going on in this country. And like we always say on New Party, always vote.
Always vote. Yeah, and shout out to Andre. Thank you for coming. Enzo, what's your closing thoughts?
My closing thoughts were, this was a great episode, Andre. Thank you for coming. It's an unfortunate situation that he had to go through himself. Like I said, I've been to a protest myself, and the exact same thing happened with these No Kings protests, these idiotic protests that should not happen at all. Because again, I don't know if you liberals are aware, we haven't had a king since 1776, and we have a No Kings Day every single year, July 4th. That's the only real No Kings Day. The state that the country is in is absolutely insanity with the left. Like you guys lost. We have a democracy, right? So it's 51-49, the majority won. This is what we voted for. This is what we want. Let the man do his job. If you don't agree with it, that's perfectly fine. Cool. Come up with factual reasons why you don't agree with it. Not because he's a king, not because he's a fascist, because he doesn't fit the role of any of those. So come up with some new talking points. The NBA, we all knew it was rigged. Mafia is not real. Bucks are winning this year, so that's it.
All right. Mia, what's your closing thoughts? Close us out.
So this was absolutely a fantastic episode. Lots of laughs. Thank you, Andre, for coming. We absolutely appreciate it. It's always good to hear your perspective and for you to walk us through the scenario and situation that you were in. And if you are not following us here, you need to follow. We do this Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please follow and subscribe. All of us as well are on social media. You can see our social media handles in our bios. I am at It's Mia Not Maya on TikTok primarily and X, but also on YouTube. And I'm going to say a premonition that I had, a little birdie told me. So I believe Donald Trump is going, within the next couple days, going to try to save the EBT, because there is a social contract between the elites and the poor, that the elites will always make sure food is available for the poor, because once the poor have no food and they're starving, that's when shit hits the fan. So you will see that Donald Trump will call both sides back to the Oval Office probably within the next few days, and it will be saved before November 1st or right on November 1st at the 11th hour. I'm calling it now. And if it ends up this way, you heard it here first.
Oh, and before we close out, thank you, Pie Face, for the new party membership. God bless everyone. Good night.